Welcome to She Is Risen, the podcast, where the woman new or mature to her faith can come to learn, decompress, and heal the anxiety keeping her from living a deeper, connected, meaningful, and purpose-led life. I'm your host, Riley June, cognitive behavioral therapist and woman of God. 6 years ago, I was riddled with anxiety, lost in New Age practices, and I've been blessed to be saved and go on to help thousands of others heal their anxiety and deepen their relationship with Christ. You are not alone. I am here to help. Tune in for the weekly therapy your soul has been praying for. Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to another session. You may hear the TV in the background, so bear with me. This is going to be a short, sweet, and impactful episode today, and I'm really hoping that Noah stays happy over the next couple minutes as I bring this episode to you. Today's session is all about helping you to start thinking about the smaller incremental steps and shifts, the 1-degree shifts that you can take to really focus on in regards to striving for and achieving goals and dreams. Now, this method that I'm going to offer you is something that you can literally apply to anything, whether it's a big voluptuous goal like becoming debt-free or buying multiple properties or losing a ton of weight or experiencing something better in relationships or whatever that may look like. So often what holds us back from experiencing and actually attaining and sustaining the goals and the dreams and the experiences that we want is because we have been conditioned to have our expectations very blown out of proportion. So if you're someone who is on any form of social media, you have likely caught yourself scrolling through multiple different people's pages or on Pinterest boards and finding or feeling a sense of inferiority in regards to where somebody else is at. And it's left you feeling like, wow, I really wish I could do that, or I really wish I could have that, or I really wish I could experience that, or I really wish I could look like that. And because of all of the highlight reels that we are conditioned to consume on social media and ultimately even in real life, right? We go out into grocery stores and there's going to be people there that present in a certain way, but you have no idea what they went through that day, what they're going through, what got them there, what led them to make the decisions that they made in any capacity or degree. And so our expectations have been blown completely out of proportion. So when we go to strive for goals or we go to make changes in our lives, we often feel let down, unmotivated, overwhelmed because we expect ourselves to be where we want to be so much faster, even though we're literally at the starting point. So here's what I want to offer you today. It is called the paperclip method. Now, you've likely seen this utilized in social media videos, and it's where somebody starts with literally a paperclip and then they trade it up for free to inevitably what something like a car or a house, a big ticket item. And they take you on this journey of this really cool experience of essentially how attaining items from other people can be perceived in different levels of value, right? So some people trade their Nikon camera for what is a cheeseburger. Other people will trade a pair of shoes for a purse, and it just so on and so forth. And ultimately, the point of that experiment is about perception. It's about understanding that everybody values things in different degrees and for different reasons. The other beautiful thing about this method is that, or I guess this experiment, is that no matter where you want to be, so in this case, this guy was set out to, the particular one that I watched, this guy set out to essentially get keys to a house. He had to start with a paperclip to get there, right? And it doesn't show you in this video the actual time that it took for him to get to the house. At one point, what I am assuming is to be the halfway point of this, you see him trade literally a camera for a coat. And then at the end of the video, which is very shortly after this exchange, it's literally him unlocking the door to a house. And so my point is that no matter where you want to be, you have to understand that even if I'll use weight loss, for example, because it's so relatable. If you've lost weight in the past, regardless if you've become debt-free in the past, regardless if you had a really great relationship in the past and now you're starting over, you're not necessarily starting over. But if you allow yourself to adopt the perspective and the awareness that you're going to have to figure out what your paperclip is in this season, on this timeline of this part of your life, then you will actually find the motivation even when you don't want to show up. You will find the inspiration even when you don't want to do it. If you learn to fixate less on how long it's going to take you to get there, and you actually start focusing on what your paperclip is in your every single day. So for example, I just went on this 60-day building in sustainable healthy habits. And my number one focus, my paperclip, was 23-minute. I'm a part of this program called the Ladies Edge, and they offered 23-minute daily workouts. 5 days a week. And then you can redo some or go into a vault and pick some. Anyways, my commitment was to do an exercise every day for 23 days. For 60 days. And outside of when we went to BC in January and a couple Sundays, I showed up every single day. There are going to be days where you will in fact not show up for whatever the goal is, or where you will not follow through with the discipline that you are integrating. But if you go on my Instagram stories, what you'll come to see is that come February, every single day for those 30 days, these 29 days, I in fact showed up. And now I'm going to put myself on another 60 days and I'm going to do it again. And so my paperclip is my daily 23-minute workouts. That is the only thing that I am focused on sustaining. If you have a goal in mind, ultimately what I want is healthier physical health, right? And so weight loss is going to be a byproduct of that. But I'm not fixated on what the number is because I want the overall lifestyle change. And daily movement, regardless of what it is, at a minimum for me of 23 minutes, is very powerful and impactful. Not only has it gone on to help regulate my moods, lower my anxiety, keep me so much more disciplined and organized, it has also inspired me to take on other tasks. Like now I'm starting to integrate healthier nutrition. So I have upgraded my paperclip now that I have created that discipline, that foundation in movement. I've upgraded my paperclip to, let's say, a journal, and I'm going to start working more diligently on my quality of nutrition. Every day is not going to look the same. There will be days where we have pizza for dinner, and there is nothing shameful about that. And I can also encourage and stick to following through with the better nutrition as much as humanly possible along the way. And the beautiful thing about the paperclip method is it keeps you very much in the now. It keeps you in the perspective of exactly where you are. It also, when you incorporate faith, because here on She Is Restored, we obviously lead with that beautiful faith-led approach. The more you grow in your faith along the way, it also helps you to want to stay consistent, to want to stay disciplined, because you recognize that everything that you're striving for is not only for the benefit the benefit of you, right? So having healthier, sustainable health. It allows you to grow and evolve in your capacity to give and to be present and to love more and to think clearer and to strive for bigger. And that's naturally going to positively impact the people around you. I was having this conversation with my husband yesterday. He doesn't love his job, but it's great. It's good enough for where we're at. It provides well. It's a job, right? He works for somebody else, and up until, for the last 8 years, he hasn't worked for someone else. He always worked for himself where he was off. And so going back to working for someone else is a big stretch for him. And so last night we were having this conversation, and I was like, you need to figure out what your paperclip is, whether that's a side project that you make money on, or it's just literally a hobby project. That is going to help you feel better overall and be more motivated in regards to exactly where you are in your life. And so often our expectations in regards to where we want to be or the goals that we strive for become so hyper distorted because we have this idea in our heads that because we've decided on a goal that it should show up relatively quickly. Now, you might not think those things to yourself, but in the ways that you give up on your goal, and in the ways that you lack the discipline to follow through to the goal, and the ways that you've likely started again multiple times in your goals. There's nothing wrong with this, by the way. I have, in many cases in my life, gone on health kicks. Some were a couple years long. Some were just pure sabotage for many years of that. The difference between then and now is the more you've grown in your faith, and the more you continue to grow in your faith, and the more you find your paperclip and you exchange it up along the way, you will stay present in the discipline and the consistency, and you will open up your ability to really enjoy the totality of the process, the ugly, the beautiful, the good, the bad days, because they will come. No one striving for a goal or making any form of change in their life, no one goes through this experience where they just don't experience discomfort, where they just don't experience pain, where they just don't want to give up. You will experience those things, and you have likely experienced those things. So I want to leave this with you today. I am going to invite you to open up this conversation with somebody that you love, so that together you can either hold each other accountable or challenge each other to dream bigger, or whatever that might look like and what transpires in the conversation. But ask each other and ask yourself, what is your paperclip? What's your big voluptuous goal? And what is your paperclip? And what do you need to do along the way to allow yourself to grow and be more disciplined and stay consistent in trading up your paperclip to get you to where you want to be? If you are someone who is seeking deeper support surrounding this, the accountability, maybe you don't necessarily have the support system to dream bigger, come and join us in Come Back Mama. It is going to be a 5-week experience that I am doing live. So there's going to be the coaching, there's going to be the stretching, there's going to be the accountability. Ultimately, what we're doing in these 5 weeks is growing your self-confidence. We are finding your identity. We are finding your paperclip. We're reinforcing healthier habits. So you can come in with a goal of any sort. We're going to be working on you in regards to what your paperclip is, in regards to what your steps are. I'm going to stretch you. I'm going to coach you. I'm going to help expand you so that you can stay disciplined and find your momentum to keep going along the way. You can find the link in the show notes to sign up. If you jump in before the 6th of March, it is $97, and then it's going up a couple $100. And we're going to kickstart this live in 3 weeks, so right at the end of March. All right. I love you guys. I'm really excited for you to find your paperclip, to build that momentum, and to become more restored in your faith and in your life along this beautiful journey on this planet. All right. I love you guys. I will see you next week. I hope you enjoyed this episode and found the faith and encouragement you needed to rise up and conquer. I am on a mission to impact 500,000 women with this work, and I need your help to do it. If you could leave a 5-star review and share this with a friend, I will be forever grateful. Remember, Jesus is the only name that can conquer all darkness, and it is up to you to choose him daily so that you can live a purpose-filled, Holy Spirit-led life too.